Can Jack go back to back to back, or will Edmonton be able to avoid overtime in Columbus tonight? We get you set for the Oilers and Blue Jackets on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola, Shawn, Belle, Ben Thomson with you inside the EST Global HQ studios. A very rare time that we're in here, hey, Bellsy?
I know, it feels weird.
Good vibe in here tonight.
Great vibe.
We had Patty Ketty from the brew house that was here. He brought pizza. He brought more steak.
He brought a steak? I thought he brought just a full cow.
Pretty much.
Because those things were massive.
Oh, 240
I walked
ounces.
by, I was like, what is going on?
Reid and Jay are here. Joaquin and Hernan stuck around for a bit longer. Koob is here. They were massive.
Joaquin was here?
Joaquin was here, yeah. Those are massive.
They're massive steaks.
And then Joaquin made steak bites out of one from this morning.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so good. So good. We're fueled up and we're ready to go for the Oilers and the Jackets. Hope you are too. You could text us 780-218-9999. You could also get to the nasty chat if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that thumbs up button, please, and thank you. We always appreciate that. The Oilers 8-6-4. The Jackets 8-7-1. The Blue Jackets we saw on Monday dropping a 5-4 overtime decision to the Oil after blowing a lead. Thanks to Connor McDavid. The Oilers got booed off the ice in that game in the second period and then managed to crawl back in the third and get the OT win. Then last night, Bellsy, it was an interesting path to victory for the Oil.
Yes.
Almost lost it.
Yep.
You know,
it was a very, I think you hit the nail on the head. It was a very interesting path.
like I have used good road game for Edmonton, like not eventful. They stayed on the outside a lot. Like Rick Tocchet even talked about how Edmonton's shots and stuff came from the outside. I think the high danger chances, Edmonton only had like 8.
Yeah.
All game.
They outpaced them for, I would say, a period and maybe a half. And then we're going to get into it, obviously, in game changers.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I thought the Oilers came out well. I thought they played well.
Yeah.
I thought they played a good road game.
They don't score a lot.
But then I think that Philly decided to start getting a little bit more physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that changed the way the game was played.
Connor McDavid got ragdolled a bunch. I know there was some pushback on social media, like how is this guy not having anybody protect him, this and that. Like he was getting pushed around by Travis Konechny, for crying out loud. Why does a big guy need to go and get mad at Travis Konechny? Like Connor McDavid, if he really wanted to, could go and punch Travis Konechny in the face.
I agree.
I'm using that one example. Just
I fully agree with you. The issue I have, and once again, we'll probably bring up the same points in game changers, but it's Connor McDavid.
Yeah.
It's Leon Draisaitl. There was a shift in the was it the first period, second period? They're on the power play, and Konechny is crossed. Like he takes a healthy run at Draisaitl, hits him in the numbers, cross checks him right after, and I'm sitting there being like, okay. There has to be some form of response the opposite way. And I've been on the show multiple times, and I said, I don't think that you need to fight. That's just the way the game's changed.
mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, these are your two best players, and you can't let them consistently take that kind of punishment, knowing full well that was what Philly's game plan was.
Right.
Because when Tocchet was a coach in Vancouver, guess what happened to be the same game plan?
rough up their skilled guys.
Make it a hard night, bump them after whistles, get inside their head, and maybe we'll be able to take advantage because we'll lull them to sleep, or they'll be so off their game that they don't want to continue to play.
Not the case last night. Although, sleepy game overall.
Well, from about 10-minute mark in the second period, the game changed. Why? Because the physicality went up with Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And there was not much of a pushback.
That I'm not surprised by. They always don't have a lot of physical pushback.
Okay, but what do teams always talk about? They always talk about team toughness.
Yes.
So we can sit here and say, well, hey, Frederick's got to do a little bit more, or whatever that looks like.
He's got 2 shiners and
He's got 2 shiners. He's not doing
nicked
anything.
up nose right now.
But you know what you could do?
Hit him?
Oh, hey, Travis Konechny, you just hit our guy. Well, you know what? We're just going to continue to run you.
Yeah.
Until you stop.
Hey, Matvey Michkov.
Kind of like
meet the glass.
Yeah. How does your lips like to touch the glass?
I don't think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if his lips want to touch the glass.
Probably
Or
not.
Good.
he goes even remotely close to the net. Maybe just eat this cross check.
Have some carbon fiber.
Now,
As
does
a
it need
snack.
to be in an upper region? Probably not, because that's a penalty.
Yeah.
But if you catch him in the liver or in the ribs,
That hurts.
it hurts. So I do think there needed to be a little bit of pushback. Once again, we will talk about this.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, they got 2 points. That's what matters.
That is true. We'll see if they can get 2 more tonight. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. Turbochargers, 2 injectors, fuel pumps, to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. Presenting sponsors of the Oil Stream pre- and post-game show. I'm going to do this for Benny Thomson as he makes his return to the show after he fixes the light that he is breaking. And then I'm going to also do this for one Patty Ketty from the brew house for hooking us up and keeping us fueled up with delicious sustenance from the brew house all day long. So this is for Ben, this is for Patty, and this is for everybody watching and listening right now. Welcome to the program. Did you break your light?
No, the clip came off the monitor. That's
Who's been playing with it? Has Coop been playing with
I
it?
think so.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully that stays.
You guys better
It's
figure
not
it
gonna
out.
stay.
Oh
there.
my
And
goodness.
there it goes. And there it goes. Nothing can be nice and easy here.
Yeah,
huh?
why can't we have nice things around here? Benny, do you want to fix that first, or do you want to add to what Bellsy said? We'll have Steve Mears, play-by-play man for the Columbus Blue Jackets, hopping on in a little bit. Belsy's with us until about 5 o'clock. There you go. You figured it out.
Yeah. I'll touch it up in a bit.
Great
But
ingenuity.
yeah, no, this is an interesting game because the Oilers are coming off their first back-to-back win of the year, which is nice.
No, they've had back-to-backs.
Have they?
Or sorry, they've
Yes.
had 2 wins in a row, but
Yes.
in a back-to-back scenario. I know what
Yes.
you said. I apologize.
Yes.
Sorry,
So, this is it's an interesting game because with the Oilers, you got Columbus, who is coming off of a game against them on Monday, where it's like, they probably feel like they should have won on Monday.
Probably.
If they don't do, if they don't shoot the puck on the power play, they probably win that hockey game. And so they're going to be a little bit ticked off today, I'd imagine. They are still working through an illness, and so that could still play a factor tonight. But we'll see. This Oilers team, I would say their effort yesterday was encouraging. They deserved the win, even though they got a little lucky in the third period. But
They did.
But I think it'll pay off tonight, and they're playing against a good Columbus team. We'll see if they can. If they have a similar effort like they did last night, I think they're going to win today.
Multi-point game from Matt Savoy sets up the game winner in overtime for Jack Roslovic. And that was something, I know, Benny, you were getting into it with someone close to you about that. Are you seeing little things from Matt Savoy? Have you been able to watch a lot?
I've seen quite a bit from him. And, for me, like, he plays with a pace that you want to see the Oilers have. Like, one of the things when they lost McLeod, when they lost Holloway, Broberg, Fogle, you can put in that pile, is they lost speed.
Right.
And especially young speed. And now that Savoy's here, like, he has played with that kind of speed, which is nice to see. So he gets into the forecheck. He's obviously not a massive guy. He's not a big hitter, but what he does do is he gets into the forecheck. He disrupts plays. He doesn't make it easy for guys to necessarily to break out, which is what I like to see. I like the fact that he's starting to showcase a little bit more of his offensive talent. When we were on Hello Hockey, we had Keith Gretzky on, and he talked about his two-way game.
Yes.
And how that developed in the minors. And you see more of that. And so what I see from Savoy is good things, and you want to see a guy like that get more minutes because he's playing pretty good hockey, and he's definitely not hurting you in any way, shape, or form. And I don't think he should be saddled on a fourth line because that doesn't really do much for him. Like, if he's going to go on the fourth line, then you might as well send him back to Baco. He's the type of player that needs those reps. He wants to play. He needs to play with better players, good players, skilled players, because that's what he is. And that's how he's going to be able to showcase who he actually is.
Maverick saying, no suit, Tommy. Scheduled loss. What? I am wearing a collar. Belsey's got his Hockey Helps the
I got a
Homeless
collar too. Look at this. Right here.
zip up hoodie, and then Benny's wearing a
You can
Corvette
pop
shirt.
it.
Yeah.
You can pop it.
We're inside. It's a nice, rare, at home in the EST studios pre and post game show, which is nice. We're back on location, Boston Pizza Westgate on Saturday. That's 170th Street, 90th Avenue, and we're gonna have a great time. I think we're gonna have a great turnout on Saturday.
Yep.
We're gonna celebrate good times. It's very close to my dad's birthday, so we'll drag his ass out, and we'll see how it goes.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go. Come join us. Big shout out to Sarah and Cal yesterday. El Presidente came out. Denise and her crew came out. Mo and his wife came out. Mo's going to be a daddy next week.
Whoa.
His wife's expecting. Yeah, round of applause. And also,
You have your board. You have your board.
yeah, he's like, I'm scared. Mo, I think you're going to be okay. And then who else? DVD was there. It was a great time. Thank you to Jason and Lisa. And we're looking forward to seeing Tony and Kurt on Saturday. Come on out and join us. Always a good time. Gave away a pair of tickets last night
Nice.
to the Oilers and Blues. That was the grand prize, and then some other prize packs that the crew at BP Clairview hooked up. Also, they have that 174-inch TV that is absolutely
I
insane.
can't wait to see that thing.
It is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Something to behold. All right, we're going to go into Game Changers with our game analyst, Shawn Belle. Game Changers, as always, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He's community-driven, understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. So please check him out, DamonBunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. I'm just going to preface it with this. Point number one. Jay's play of the day is plus 6,305 to hit.
Okay.
Point number one of Game Changers with Belsey tonight. 2 is a fluke, 3 is a streak. And that can go for the team, and that can go for Jack Roslovic.
Well, let's go streaking.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for. And the reason I say that is because the Oilers have been up and down. We've talked about it, where their game is, lack of consistency. We've also said they haven't played the best hockey in the last couple games, which they haven't. I think that's a fair statement. But you've won 2 in a row.
Yep.
You got to start somewhere. So if you can go into Columbus on a team that you just saw, you stole points from them in a game that, we can argue whether you deserved or not. You know what kind of team they are. You know that they work. Mm-hmm. You know that they play with speed. You know that they're going to make it hard on you. When you see a team, less than a week ago, you're already geared up for what that game's going to be. So you know that you're going to probably put your best out there. And so now you got a team that, in my opinion, I do think the Oilers are better than. Are they going to play their A game? I don't know. I don't know if they are.
Great question.
But the reality is that I think they're going to play a good game. They're going to play a good road game where they're going to have limited, it's a low event game, limited chances.
Mm-hmm.
And you rise to the occasion. You've now just won 3. 3 in a row for a team that has struggled with confidence. 3 in a row for a team that struggled with consistency is a big deal. Mm-hmm. Because that is something that you can build upon, because now you're in a 7-game road trip and you start the first 2 games off with, potential wins. That's a big deal. So for me, 2's a fluke. Let's go streaking.
Oilers looking for their first 3-game winning streak of the season. Like Benny pointed out earlier, that was their first win in a back-to-back scenario this season. I think this is the 4th already. Mm-hmm. 4th set of back-to-backs. We're going to see it this time next week as well. What is it? Washington, Tampa?
Yeah. I believe that's what it was.
And then they wrap up the trip in Florida at 5 o'clock on Saturday. And then, oh, by the way, if you like these early starts on Saturdays, 2 p.m. the following Saturday against the Seattle Kraken. We're going to have to figure out what we do after Hello Hockey.
It's going to be like
we're going to be busy.
On, off, off, on.
Basically.
We've
done that before. We can handle it. All right, point number 1 from Belsey on Game Changers tonight. presented by Damon Bunting. Real estate, 2 is a fluke, 3 is a streak. Let's see it. Oh, really quickly as an aside and a +1 to point number 1.
Yep.
Roslovic getting a 3rd straight overtime goal.
Ooh, let's not do that. Let's
Plus
not get too
6,300.
hasty. Let's not get
The
too
Columbus
hasty.
native.
I put $5 on it. Payout's nice.
Oh,
I would love to see him get another game winner, especially in Columbus.
Right.
But I'm not going to get too hasty.
Okay. But the only other player in NHL history to score 3 consecutive overtime winners was Andrew Cogliano back in 2009 for the Oilers.
wow.
And listen to this. I'm curious to hear what you think of this. They took his gloves and his stick from that historic goal immediately and shipped them to the Hall of Fame. And he asked if he could give a different stick.
I love it.
Would you be rattled?
Well, no, I wouldn't. I'd be like, take whatever you want. You want my jock strap too?
Oh, gross.
Take it all. This is the first time it's going to happen, and only the time that's going to happen. So take all of my equipment. I'll just get new stuff.
This is like an anaconda taking down a pig.
Yeah, take it all.
All right, point number 2, game changers. Belzy, physical pushback. You kind of
Physical
teased it.
pushback. I did tease it. I did not like how, in the second period, Tocchet said something to his bench, promptly put his 4th line out. They started running around, bumping McDavid after whistles, cross-checking Draisaitl. They upped their physical intensity, and I did not like how the Oilers didn't push back. And the reason I didn't like that they didn't push back is because it changed the game.
Right.
Up until that point, I'm pretty sure, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the shots were like 24-12.
I think it was
They were dominating
it
the
was,
shot
it
clock.
was
Dominating.
21-7, I think, at one
Yeah,
point.
it might have been like something like
Ridiculous.
that. And they were
Yeah.
completely dominating it, the
Yeah.
game. And then all of a sudden, it was, hey, go have a physical response, because what will happen is that the Oilers will crumble.
Yeah.
And guess what? They did. So you have to have something. And it's as simple as, okay, well, Travis Konechny, and you mentioned it, was holding and pushing off on McDavid and doing all sorts of stuff. But, like, why can't you just go finish on him? Do the same tactics. It wasn't like they were going out and fighting.
Right.
Wasn't like they were going out and being extremely dirty.
Right. It was just annoying jerk hockey.
It was. There was this line, and they just went right up to the line, and they didn't cross it.
Right.
Not once. So, do I expect you to fight? No. I think the game's changed. Do I think you need to be dirty? No, I don't. But when a team decides to do that, I think you have to find a way to just have team toughness and do it together. Yep. That means, Connor, you can hit a guy too. That means, Leon, you can hit a guy too. Darnell, well, you sure as hell can hit somebody. You sure as hell can, hey, guy's going to the net, just put your stick out, let him run into it. Like, you got to do something to make it uncomfortable for the other team, because your team can't be the only team, and your star players can't be the only team or players, that are uncomfortable.
Right.
The game has to become uncomfortable for everybody.
Trent Frederick, that's your...
Yeah, but unfortunately, like, he's got 2 black eyes.
Yeah,
and sure, he could have ran more guys. He could have done a little bit more.
I was about to say, like,
Yeah.
how'd you feel about his goalie running last game?
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it either.
I didn't mind it at all.
Yep.
But once again, there still needs to be just a tad
More than him.
more.
100%.
There's got to
Right.
be a tad more.
100%.
Like, I don't think you need to try to put a guy in the 15th row, but you need to at least say,
We're here.
we're not taking that. We're here.
Yeah.
We're not just going to allow you to hit McDavid after the whistle where he kind of stumbled awkwardly. Like, what if he gets hurt there?
Yeah.
And you're just going to allow that to happen?
In principle, you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. Okay, well, you want to play that game like, once again, angry, old man and angry cloud, but like, back in my day, you would have run their stars. Like that. They were like, okay, you want to do that? We're just going to go make this guy's life miserable.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
anyway.
I believe Pat Quinn famously said one night after an Oilers loss, fight dirt with dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tit for tat. That is the physical pushback. Point number 2 of Game Changers. What?
Easy E. You're United McDavid. It's his job to play the tough guy role. Did I say anything about tough guy role?
No.
No.
Said just stick up for
Because
yourself.
Connor can be rough too. Like he doesn't have
He
to.
just has to play.
He had
Go
a
out
3-game
and play.
suspension last year for cross-checking a guy in the head.
Yeah. I honestly didn't mind it too. Yeah, he stuck up for himself.
Yeah.
He probably got him a high, but
Just stick up for yourself. You don't have to do anything crazy. There's no tough guyness. All I'm saying is that don't allow your star players to go out and get hit after whistles. Don't allow them to take it to a level that you can't push back to. It's not like they're crossing lines. If you're not a tough team, you're not a tough team. That's fine. But at least pretend. Follow along.
Easy. Easy has a tough time sometimes.
Oh.
It's okay.
God.
Thanks, Easy, for the contribution to the show. It is Game Changers with our game analyst, Shawn Belle. Game Changers is always brought to you by... He's reeling them in, Benny.
Are we doing this today?
Reeling them
Are we
in.
doing this today? Because I'm already there.
I know.
I'm already there.
Oh, he's there.
He doesn't stick up for himself. Oh.
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
God.
Game Changers brought to you by David Bunting Real Estate. David Bunting now with the agency. Let's go to point number 3, Belzy. We need you to do this too. Line stability. Be stable. Be stable.
I am stable. I'm
Serenity
stable.
now.
What I've liked in the last couple of games is that Nullblock has had the same lines for the most part.
Yeah.
And there's just some chemistry developing. Roslovic, Podkolzin, Dry, they look good together. Savoy looked really good on that line. Mangiapane was there. He's in and out. You know, you're probably going to get Hyman back at some point. He's going to play there. To me, if you have the ability to put some lines together for an extended period of time and they develop that chemistry, and I've said this multiple times, I personally think that if Draisaitl and McDavid are split up, and you got guys that are contributing on those lines, the Oilers are a harder team to defend than if you go nuclear and the bottom 3 lines, quote unquote, aren't really doing much.
Yeah.
Because now you become a one-line team. You put out your top 2 defenders and you say, let's go shut this down. You go put out your top defending line. You say, okay, be physical on them, much like Philadelphia did the other day. Well, they become easier to defend because the other groups aren't contributing. But if you have 2 lines paced by some of the best players in the world, here we go.
I like it.
Well said, Belzy. Well said.
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
God, I love having this board.
Yeah, it's good.
780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. Jason via the inbox says, fake it till you make it, boys. Thank you. This text out of Calgary says, Edmonton doesn't know what, quote unquote, finishing your check is. Unfortunately, that's not far off. That is true. They've struggled with that this year. The team toughness has certainly taken a hit. Chet Palmer's brother-in-law texting in. This is great. Family and friends, I see. Yeah. I want to apply for a job to spell Benny off. I'm sober for 2 weeks, and my brother-in-law, Chet Palmer, will give me a reference. Well, we'll have a conversation with Chet Palmer about this extended family here.
That's good.
Oh, my goodness. All right, Belzy. Anything else that you want to hit on? Because I know you got to scoot, make it home to see the family.
Yeah, I just think that, in that third period against Columbus, you got to pick up where you left off. That was good hockey. Yes, they just played against Philadelphia because, Easy will probably talk about that. But the game that you played against Columbus in the third period, you raised your level to a point where you're able to now come back.
Mm-hmm.
Bring that same effort, bring that same energy into that particular game against Columbus, and I think you're going to get 2 points. Columbus works hard. They have skill. They do lots of good things, but they don't have they're not as good as the Edmonton Oilers. My humble opinion. Skill-wise, they're not as skilled. So if you can have and match that effort that Columbus will give, especially on home ice, especially being pissed off, the fact that you just lost when you had the game in the bag, I think you're gonna see a good effort by the Oilers, and I think you're gonna end up winning the game.
Really quickly, we're going to hear from Steve Mears. I chatted with him when I was at the Satellite Studios. He's got the night off because they just came back from that road trip. It's a TNT broadcast tonight, so the Jackets regional team doesn't have to do the game. But he said that he could tell that they had a long flight back from Seattle, got in early yesterday morning, and everybody seemed groggy. Can you articulate that for some that might not understand the concept? Like, they're going 3 time zones back out east, losing 3 hours. They were on an extended Western road trip.
You've had an extended road trip. You know, obviously the games are tiring because you're playing every second night. Sometimes you're playing, back-to-backs. And then you keep bouncing different time zones and then having to go all the way back. It does a number on your body because you're constantly trying to adjust. Right. So yes, that 1 hour time change may not feel like a lot, but when you're consistently doing something, in Easter time at 7:00, and then you're now here, it's 5:00.
Yeah.
So it does do a bit of a number on the body and the system. And so by the time you go finish all those games, because what did they have? 4 games?
I think it was a 5-gamer.
Was it a 5-gamer?
Yeah. And they went back to back Edmonton, Seattle to wrap it up.
Calgary, Edmonton, Seattle. Can't remember if there was another one.
Oh, it's a weird one. It started on Long Island, then to Calgary, then to Van, then to Edmonton, then back out to the West Coast in Seattle, back-to-back nights.
Oh, and so then, that's, even better. So, like you're constantly trying to play catch-up. And by the time you get and you're finished your road trip and you get home, like, your body's kind of just done because you've been, if you think about the game times, they played 8:00 here in the city. Well, what time is that actually in Columbus? It's a late game.
Yeah.
And so it plays tricks on you. You're exhausted by the end of it. And when you have that little bit of a letdown, your body lets down.
Elsie, fantastic work, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the postgame show.
Thank you. Nasties.
Okay, hang tough. That's Game Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Are we going to go to Chris Knobloch, or do you want to go to Steve Mears?
Doesn't matter.
Let's hear from Chris Knobloch. Then we'll go right into Steve Mears. I had a chance to chat with him about an hour or two ago. Here is Chris Knobloch, who spoke 40 minutes ago.
Do you have any lineup changes for tonight?
Yes, Tommy's coming in. Ike is coming out.
Okay, and that's the only change for tonight?
Calvin Pickard's in net. Also, Regula's back in net, or back in the back end.
And he's coming in for?
Emerson.
Okay, great. Now, this is a team that you just saw 3 days ago. What were some of the main takeaways from that game in terms of the challenge that the Columbus Blue Jackets bring to the table?
They are a high-event team. They play very high tempo, very aggressive with their systems, dangerous off the rush, and we were, fortunate to come from behind and get some fortunate bounce to win that. And, overall, we've been emphasizing playing better defense and giving up fewer chances. And I think that game we did a pretty good job. But, they've got a lot of high energy, dangerous players. Marchenko, Werenski, obviously the 2 biggest ones that we have to look out for. But, there should be another good game tonight.
Do you feel like the Jackets have a lot of players that are kind of overlooked just based on the market they play in? Because guys like Werenski, Marchenko, these are game breakers at sometimes.
Well, for us, coaching staff, no, we don't overlook them. We do appreciate them and know what quality of players that they are. Maybe you media guys don't give them enough attention or credit, but yes, they are. They've got a lot of good players.
What kind of an infusion has Jack Roslovic given your team outside of the 2 overtime goals? What has he been able to do for your team and then throughout the rest of the lineup? How's that been impacted for you?
Yeah, Jack has been very impactful for our team, and obviously you point out the overtime goals, but 5-on-4 scoring, he's also contributed. Especially right now with the injuries and loss of players that we have, Kapanen, Hyman, Nugent Hopkins. So we've been very fortunate to have him throughout the season. And I think the biggest impact, not just obviously being a good player, but being very versatile. Used him, moved him onto the first unit power play. He's had a couple power play goals there. But I think he's just a good all-around player who can transport the puck, and I think you can't have enough guys like that just to make it a little more easier getting from your zone into the other end.
You mentioned Hyman a second ago. Is he close to returning to your lineup?
He's very close. We anticipate he'll be ready to play on Saturday.
Okay. And then coming out of the Philadelphia game, every team has the battle of back-to-back because of the Olympics condensed. How do you feel like that you're handling that part of your game to make sure that you have the energy needed to get into these second halves?
Well, we'll find out after the game tonight. But it's really, you need to, one, not overdo it with practices. Practices are so important, and you try and get the most out of them, but you just run the risk of running the guys in the ground, and they don't have the energy that they need to play all these games. And on top of that, all the travel. Overdoing the practices hadn't been an issue for us because we have not had the opportunity to practice very much with the start of our schedule, with all the road travel that we've been doing. But I think probably the biggest thing is just having the everybody contributing, using your whole lineup, because I think that's the biggest thing.
Chris, what was the shift on Monday night in the third period against this club that you hope to see throughout a full 60 here tonight?
Playing with desperation. That's so important. If you can play with desperation and know the importance of every shift, that gives yourself an opportunity to have success. But if you just kind of roll the punches and just figuring you're kind of overconfident, thinking things will be okay, then you're just a step behind. And the NHL is so competitive and teams are so even that you can't relax.
All right, let's welcome in Steve Mears, play-by-play man of the Columbus Blue Jackets, back to the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. I feel like I just saw you, and it was nice having you back in town. It was a couple days ago, Steve. This Oilers Jackets series concludes tonight. How top of mind will that game be? Although I know that the Jackets stopped in Seattle on their way home.
Yeah, it's nice to be home after 9 days on the road, 5 straight games on the road, and that atmosphere in Edmonton. I mean, that it wasn't the outcome the Jackets were looking for, but that was the highlight of the trip. I mean, results-wise, the highlight was the last game, which they were able to pull out a win in Seattle, get 2 points in a shootout win against the Kraken, which was much needed in the second of a back-to-back. But I just thought the atmosphere, 2 desperate teams, as Dean Evison said that morning of the Oiler game, we should be pissed off. We should be angry. We lost 3 in a row and some ugly losses. So everybody was talking about Edmonton and the 9-1 loss the game before, but the Jackets had a chip on their shoulders as well. And obviously the great individual performance by McDavid in the third period, and a couple of mistakes along the way by the Blue Jackets, and an overtime goal from the Columbus kid, Jack Roslovic. So, I can't wait to see what we have in store tonight. I will say, though, that I feel exhausted right now with the time change and the 9-day trip and everything, to come home and play a playoff game. I, of course, am no pro athlete, far from it. But I wonder, especially with the proverbial first home game after a long trip, that old cliche, but there are some stats to support that. I wonder what the Jackets have in the tank after a long day of travel yesterday.
Listen, I'll back you up on the long travel and then coming back home and getting reacclimated to time zones. It's a real thing. I remember when I traveled with the Oilers, that first sleep at home, how good was that in your own bed?
Yeah, it was good. And I slept well, and I still feel just kind of sluggish today. So the whole time I'm thinking, how do the guys get up for a game where you have to be ready, and obviously the Edmonton played last night as well, so they have their own things and that they're dealing with, and they're trying to get on track and string some more wins together here and get on a nice little hot streak. So it's going to be an intriguing game. And I think this Jackets team still trying to find their swagger on home ice. They were one of the best home ice teams in the Eastern Conference last year, and kind of a bumpy start at home, which is surprising because it is a tremendous atmosphere. Always is. The building's always sold out, and just the Blue Jackets fans are so supportive of the team. Even in the down years, they've been unbelievably supportive. So we've had some fun nights at Nationwide this season. I'm sure tonight will be no different. Kicking off a 3-game homestand, and the Jackets trying to string some wins together of their own and build off of the win in Seattle on Tuesday.
Like you alluded to, 3-3 on home ice so far this season, the Blue Jackets are. But what has led to the lack of results at home, in your opinion? Is it just getting too excited to be in front of the home crowd, trying to get too cute? We've heard that from teams in the past. What's your kind of take on that?
I think it's largely circumstantial. They've played New Jersey and Colorado, and those were two of the losses, and those that we know are very good teams. And I think the issue at home is kind of the issue of the entire season so far for the Jackets. It's just inconsistent play and these momentary mental lapses that have cost them games at the worst possible times. They have so many games where they've said, we played well for 95% of the game. And the Edmonton game was a perfect example as well, where it looked like it was domination through 2 periods of play, if not more. I mean, into the third period as well. And Connor McDavid, you tip your cap to just unbelievable individual plays and the best player in the game. But even some just mental lapses on that late power play chance and not managing the puck well, and it ends up costing them points. They had a very crushing loss against the Islanders where it looked like they were going to steal 2 points on Long Island. Their goaltender was great. And then they gave up 2 goals in the final minute plus and ended up with 0 points. So it's just finding that 60-minute effort. And I think that's plagued them at home and on the road at times. And just game management is a phrase Dean Evison used a lot. Just that next shift after a goal, realizing time and score of a game and making smarter decisions, taking what the game gives you. If you don't have any chance to push for offense, take the conservative route. And a couple times the Jackets have just been a little too sloppy at the wrong times.
Steve Mears joining us now, Columbus Blue Jackets play-by-play man, as we get set to watch the Blue Jackets and Oilers close out the season series. Edmonton continuing a 7-game road trip, got the win yesterday against Philadelphia in Philly. I might add, Steve, that was a very fortuitous win for the Oilers when they got the offside ruling on what looked like a Travis Konechny game winner with 23 and a half seconds left. So it hasn't been pretty for the Oilers either. They got booed off the ice going into the third period in that game against the Blue Jackets on Monday. And then, like you alluded to, Connor McDavid kind of stepped it up and woke his team up. How much is that going to be top of mind, in your opinion, for the Columbus Blue Jackets tonight? Or are they going to kind of build off of what they were able to do in Seattle the other night?
Yeah, I would think they could use it as fuel. They were not happy whatsoever with the result, but they did like a lot of that game against Edmonton. I think that second period that they had was maybe the best period of the entire season. They had the Oilers in their own zone, and it was looking like a Blue Jacket power play for chunks of that second period. So, it was a stinging loss. There's no doubt about that. As I said, you tip your cap when Connor McDavid is doing his thing and scores a couple of highlight reel goals. But they do have a score to settle, and they want to get some points here and start a climb. It's just been too inconsistent. Remember, the standard for this team coming in was pretty much playoffs or bust after missing by 2 points last year. The standard is high. This isn't like a few years ago with the Blue Jackets in a complete rebuild. And the team was healthy coming into the season. And there was a lot of talk that hopefully that momentum from last year would just continue into this season. And it hasn't quite been there. They've hovered around 500. At the same time, just about everybody in the Eastern Conference is hovering around 500. So there's a real good opportunity here with this homestand. Tough homestand, too. You're looking at Edmonton tonight, getting back from the road trip. Saturday against the New York Rangers. We know they've been good, especially on the road. And Monday against the Montreal Canadiens. And then they go on another week-long road trip. So it's like every team, it's a lot of hockey in a condensed amount of time. But you have to take advantage of the home games, especially when you have such a distinct home ice advantage. And here's a nationally televised game in the United States, which the Jackets haven't had a whole lot of in the last couple of years. So they got to get back to where they were on home ice last season. It was the road where they really struggled big time, really cost them the playoffs. But they need to be one of the best home ice teams in the East, just like they were last year. And this is a great opportunity with a 3-game homestand starting tonight.
Personnel-wise, Steve, I know Boone Jenner is a little bit nicked up, and I think the term today was not short-term from Dean Evison. That doesn't sound good. So what kind of tweaks to the lineup do you expect? And is it going to be Jet Greaves back between the pipes for the Jackets?
Yeah, it is going to be Jet for a third consecutive start, which is interesting. It had been an even goalie rotation up until the last game, and Dean Evison didn't elaborate on the reasons why. He did say Elvis Merzlikins is healthy, so that was somewhat surprising on a back-to-back with travel, with this goalie rotation, which had been going pretty well for the Jackets, that he goes to Jet for the Seattle game. Jet gets the win, and now he makes a third straight start, which is not a big deal for him. He started the last 5 games last year, almost single-handedly got the Jackets into the postseason. But, Jet's going to go again, so they are deviating from the goalie rotation. And then it looks like Luca Del Bel-Belluz and Kent Johnson are going to play with Sean Monahan. They're on a second line in the absence of Boone Jenner, and Johnson did not play. He was a healthy scratch on Tuesday against the Seattle Kraken. So, Adam Fantilli's been hot. Kirill Marchenko's been hot. He's got points in 9 consecutive games. I think they really have a solid number one line there. Voronkov, Fantilli, and Marchenko. And Adam Fantilli is starting to get on one of those streaks like he had last year, and like a lot of goal scorers. When he gets hot, it seems like everything he's shooting is hitting the back of the net. So Fantilli, after going 8 without a goal, he has goals in back-to-back games, and Marchenko's been racking up the points as well. So that's the big line that I think the Oilers have to deal with. And then for the Blue Jackets, of course, it's going to be how do they try to match up against McDavid and Draisaitl. Provorov and Werenski as a top defensive pair now for a few games. They're 2 ice time leaders on the same defensive pair, and we expect those two right up there, 25, 27, if not more minutes here, especially against McDavid and Draisaitl.
Hey, Luca Del Bel-Belluz, as soon as I read that name earlier this season, I thought of you immediately. So I just want to point that out. And I was like, oh, well, good thing he's a pro. And then speaking of being in the booth, you had John Davidson with you the other day. And I was just like, whoa, legend. And obviously we know what he's done on the executive side between Columbus and New York. What was it like having JD in the booth? Because I remember him on Hockey Night in Canada growing up, and he was smooth.
Oh, he's the greatest ever to do it, in my opinion. I mean, just especially as a kid growing up in the United States and not a Ranger fan, I knew of him because of the NHL on Fox in the 90s. And NHL on ESPN and ABC in the 90s and early 2000s. Just so many national games. All you have to do is just look at those networks. He's been on every network, I think, except the Golf Channel. I mean, he's been on every single thing. He has like a boatload of Emmys. He's in the Hockey Hall of Fame. He's worked with every legendary broadcaster, from Jim Hewson to Bob Cole to Doc Emmerich to Gary Thorne. It's such an honor to work with him in these fill-in games when Jody's on Amazon and JD comes in. What a guy to get out of the bullpen, right?
Yeah.
So he made his season debut, and he just said, I did, I think, 5 games with him last year. He had gone a couple decades without doing any TV because, as you said, he was an executive with the Blues and the Blue Jackets and Rangers and so forth. And he jumped in, and it was like it was 1995 all over again. He had all the same preparation. He had a million notes. He knows when to use them and when not to use them. He doesn't cram anything in. He does all the homework. He talks to every player. He talks to people outside the team that have connections to players and coaches, and you see why he's the greatest ever to do it. So it's just such an unbelievable honor to work with him for a select amount of games here this season, and he was there with me with the game at Rogers Place on Monday night. And as far as the names are concerned, Luca Del Bel-Belluz is nothing after you've done a game against Vancouver with 3 Pedersons. Let me just tell you. That is, if there's ever a challenge, it is the 3 Pedersen Vancouver Canucks.
Yep.
2 of them with the exact same first name, although one is Elias and one is Elias.
Yes. Well said. Very well said. And I didn't want to interrupt you guys' production meeting on Monday. I just saw that. I was like, no way. So, and add another name to the list of legends he's worked with, Steve Mears, who graces us with our presence today. Buddy, always a pleasure. Thank you for doing this. Enjoy the time on the couch watching the game. A well-earned night off.
I appreciate it, Tom. It's great talking with you. Thanks for having me. Enjoy the game as well.
Love it. Steve Mears, great guy. And he was with NHL Network, Benny. I worked with him a little bit. I was an Edmonton correspondent. I guess technically I still am, but they hired a bunch of people and they just do it in studio now. They don't really go out to the cities anymore like they used to.
Yeah.
And then they have DVD here too, who's their correspondent and Western Canadian correspondent. But that's where I worked with Steve and met him. I think that was like 6 or 7 years ago. And then he was the play-by-play guy for the Penguins for a bit. Mm-hmm. And then last year went over to Columbus and is with the Jackets. Great guy, great broadcaster, and appreciate him hopping on. I didn't know he had the night off. I know it's a TNT game.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm good anytime. I don't have any pre and post game duties. I was like, well, then hop on.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll be on the couch. Like, okay, just come on for a few minutes. And he was nice enough to grace us with a few minutes of insight into the Columbus Blue Jackets. All right, you can text us 780-218-9999. You can jump into the nasty chat as well. We'll get to lineups because we do have an update on those. I want to rattle off a few texts first. Tom and Benny with you inside the EST Global HQ studios. This one says, hey guys, do the Oilers need to acquire another tough guy? Fred has heart, but he's only a middleweight. Thanks. Cheers, Box Pounder. Benny, I'll let you take that one. What do you think?
It's just, to me, like, I don't know if they need another, just like, if it's a big guy, he needs to be able to play. You know what I mean? Like, they can't just bring in a bruiser for like.
There aren't many left either.
Exactly. And this team's trying to win a cup, and, you know, like, Ryan Reeves is not going to help this team win a Stanley Cup, right? I'm not saying that's who Box Pounder is referring to, but.
He's just saying in general, I think.
Yeah. And, I don't mind the idea of getting bigger and having guys that are more intimidating. Of course, it's never a bad thing to have. And does this team lack it? Yeah, probably.
Yes. Agreed.
But you need to make sure that he can play. You need to make sure he can give you solid minutes and play well. You know, because when this team's fully healthy, there's not a whole lot of spots to give up right now. Like there's a lot of guys that have proven that they can play in the NHL and deserve minutes. So. If the right guy's on the market and he's a guy that maybe can score goals too and all that stuff, like, by all means, let's entertain that conversation. But I think right now, they kind of just are waiting to see what they got, and who knows, maybe Frederick develops more and more into that guy that I think Oilers fans are wanting from him, and they don't got this issue, so we'll see.
Well said. Let's go to the Wolf. Oh, says, last night I wanted to hit someone when Philly scored. Instead, I threw my chicken wing. Well, I'm all out of chicken wings tonight, boys. The Wolf is getting feisty on back-to-back nights. And then this one says, hey, gents, can you see an extension coming for Roslovic? Or would they wait the year out to see how it goes? Seems like a no-brainer if you can get him at a fair AAV. So I'm not sure where they're at with this. I would have to ask around a little bit, but keep in mind we're like a dozen days removed from that November 1st deadline that, you know, they could have moved on, or the no trade thing kicked in. It's gone well. And then Hernan had Aaron Portzline. Hernan and Joaquin had Aaron Portzline on when the Oilers finally signed Roslovic. And Portzline said, you're going to watch him play brilliant for some stretches. Brilliant hockey. Where you're like, this guy's a star. And then he goes quiet.
Yeah.
And then he comes back and you're like, oh, there he is. And then he goes quiet. So I would assume, this is me assuming, more so leaning towards the wait and see side.
Yeah.
Because it's, what is he missed the first couple of games? He's played 15 or 16 games.
Something like that.
And mostly good. He's on it. Great tear right now, obviously. So we'll see. And then the other thing is, they did make an offer on a longer term, more money deal.
They did.
And he said no in the summer.
I'd imagine if the Oilers offered him that same deal now, I'd imagine he still doesn't take it. I think he knows that he's playing this well. And if I were him, I'd be confident myself to just go, I'll wait this out too. Because if you're not gonna pay me $5 million I'm worth, someone else will.
Yeah.
Because with the rising cap, teams have more cap space nowadays.
Yeah.
He could absolutely get paid if he continues this play. But like Portzline was saying, he's got good stretches, and then he dips, and you forget he's on the team for a little while. I'm waiting to call him like Roslovic, this new top 6 certified winger for Draisaitl because of the scouting report with him. But if he continues to play the way that he has to pass 10 games or something like that, like, you always have a player here on a very cheap cap hit that will significantly increase in the offseason when he hits free agency, if he makes it there.
If he makes it there, yeah. Good question, though.
Yeah.
And I could think of two examples in recent years where guys kind of bet on themselves on one-year deals and it blew up on their face.
Yep.
In their face, I should say. Kevin LeBanc with San Jose and Anthony Duclair. But then Duclair eventually got a good deal. But he's been hurt quite a bit lately.
Also, another guy banked on himself that didn't pay off well. Well, I guess it's not horrible now. Adam Klingberg, or sorry, not Adam Klingberg. Why am I blanking on his first name? Klingberg.
John Klingberg.
John Klingberg. Yeah.
That's right.
John Klingberg had an 8x8 from Dallas, and he said no. So then he went and signed a 1-year deal in Anaheim for $7 million. That didn't go very well. No. Then he signed in Toronto, and then the injuries and all that stuff. Now he's in San Jose getting paid $4 million, I think, for a year or something. But
that's not 8.
That is not 8. No, that's some money left on the table. That's why I think young guys are more prone to signing those long-term deals at a lower cap it than what probably they should be, because they just want security.
Yep, that's true. That's fair. Good questions. This text comes in, says, saw a clip on Twitter of Knobloch reaming into the team. Never push a patient man too far. Loved it. Yeah, I think he can get frustrated when he wants to, but just a calm demeanor.
I think he puts like I'm not saying like a front for the cameras, but he's composed. He's not like the way that he talks to the media. I'd be shocked if that's how he talks at all times to his team. I subscribe to the Oilers Plus and see like kind of the behind the scenes stuff, and he'll get up and get worked up a little bit like a coach should, right? Like it's never like a screaming at a guy, but he doesn't have that same monotone tone like he does with the media. So yeah, I mean, he wants to see better from his team.
Yeah. Is it Jack and Dax says there's audio of Chris Knobloch just giving it to the Oilers. We're expletive looking to Dipsy Doodle. And then Reid Wilkins, our good friend, Reid the Wrench, says drops F-bombs all the time during practice. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Pretty much standard coach lingo, even explaining a drill. Yep, good point. As we get you to your starting lineups for tonight between the Oilers and the Columbus Blue Jackets. For the Oil, this is from warm-up at Nationwide Arena. McDavid between Savoy and Mangiapane. Draisaitl with Podkolzin and Roslovic. Can Roslovic make it 3 straight overtime winners? I put some money, little sprinkle on Jay's play of the day, plus 63.05. That would be something. You would tie Andrew Cogliano's NHL record for 3 straight overtime game-winning goals. Henrique between Janmark and Frederick. Noah Philp with Curtis Lazar and David Tomaszek in for Ike Howard. On defense, Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurse with Wallman, Kulak with Regula in for Emerson. Not really a surprise there. As for the Blue Jackets, Sean Monahan centering Luca Del Bell Bellouz and Kent Johnson. Kent Johnson was a healthy scratch in Seattle the other night. Adam Fantilli between Dmitry Voronkov and Kirill Marchenko. Charlie Coyle centering Cole Sillinger and Matthew Olivier. Isaac Lundestrom with Miles Wood and Yegor Chinikov. On defense for the Jackets, Zach Werenski with Ivan Provorov, Denton Matichuk with Damon Severson, Jake Christensen with Dante Fabro, no Zach Aston Reese, no Dyson Mayo, the former Oil King. And I forgot to check in on Matichuk. Is it Matejchuk or Matichuk?
I'm pretty sure it's Matejchuk.
Is it? And sure. I know I was looking at the pronouncer, but I know some like Matichuks from around here.
Oh, really?
It's like, it's the spelling's the same, but they don't hit the Tay very hard.
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's Matejchuk.
Matejchuk. Okay, so let's get that Edmund Chuck-ism out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to go into your starting goalies for tonight. For the Oilers, 33-year-old Calvin Pickard, 2-2-1 record, 4.0 goals against average, .836 save percentage in 6 games. I think the people that wanted him to be the starter are a little bit quieter now. He's a good backup. He's a serviceable backup. Good guy, too. Lifetime versus the Jackets. Pickard 3-3-1 with a .298 GAA, .883 save percentage in 7 games against Columbus in the course of his career. And as for the Columbus Blue Jackets, 24-year-old Jet Greaves getting the start again, 4-4-1 this season, .289 GAA, .901 save percentage in 9 games. He is 0-0-1 versus the Oilers' lifetime. .492 goals against average, .792 save percentage in the lone appearance versus the Oil, which happened on Monday. And then that brings us to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You've got a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today at www.advantagesportmed.ca or call 780-460-9977 for the Oilers. Zach Hyman, very close to his return. Wrist injury, still on the IR. Kasperi Kapanen moved to LTIR with a knee injury, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, IR, with a head injury. I broke that one earlier. Thank you for cutting that up, putting it on social media. Fell innocuously in his last game into a defender's leg and kind of bumped himself on the noggin. As for the Blue Jackets, Boone Jenner, upper body, not short-term, as Dean Evison said. Then Erica Branson, upper body, has been nicked up for Columbus. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. That brings us to your game day odds check, brought to you by Play Alberta. When you play in Alberta, it stays in Alberta, safe and secure. The revenue generated from Play Alberta is redirected into Alberta's General Revenue Fund, which is used to support programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. Use promo code EST Casino for a $50 deposit, and that gives you a $50 casino bonus. And then if you use EST Sports, that's a $50 deposit, getting you a $50 free bet. EST 50 did not get refreshed the last time I checked. I think I checked like 2 days ago. Your money line for tonight, the Oilers minus 102, the Jackets plus 113, over set at 6.5 tonight, minus 118 there, and then the under set at 6.5 is set at minus 112. So the over at minus 118, the under at minus 112. That is your Play Alberta game day odds check. All right, really quickly, Betty, final thoughts from you.
Let's see 3 in a row. Let's see it. Let's get going here, and hopefully Roslovic cashes. I don't know if it's Jay's play of the day, but the bet. Okay, well there you go. Yeah, let's see if Jack Roslovic can do it. Well, hopefully.
Why not? It's his hometown.
Yeah, why not?
Get it done. I put a sprinkle on. The payout is lovely. Plus 63.05 if Roslovic scores the OT winner for a third consecutive game for the Oilers. A big thank you to Steve Mears, play-by-play man for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And thank you to everybody who watched and listened. Even Easy E had a tough night tonight, but that's okay. He's got half an hour to pick it up with the final half hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne and the Coop coming up right here on EST. For Shawn, Belle, and Ben Thompson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the rest of the Reid Wilkins Show and enjoy the game. We'll catch you on the post-game show. Ciao for now.
After about 8 minutes into the second period, Rick Tocchet threw his fourth line out there. They were running around like crazy. Then Seeler hits McDavid. The whole tone of the game changed after that. The Oil had no pushback for them. And this is the Philadelphia Flyers. This isn't the Florida Panthers, right? I thought Philly took over the game. And from then on in, it was just about surviving for the Oil.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Summer was packed with memories.
Wait, let me get a picture.
Your garage doesn't have to be.
Wow, look at all this space.
Store your gear with Sentinel Storage and enjoy extra space all year. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation. With options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including international U2 tribute band, Desire, November 14. performing decades of U2's greatest hits. It's Desire, November 14th at the River Cree. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Get ready for a feast like no other. 40-ounce steak night is back this November at the Canadian Brewhouse. Sink your teeth into a hand-cut 40-ounce ribeye with all the fixins for just $49.99. Tickets available now in store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Okay, final half hour of the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. Why settle for less when you can have it all? Only Play Alberta brings you casino games, live dealers, lottery, instance, and sports betting all in one place. Players can get a $50 casino bonus by depositing $50 and using the code EST Casino. You can get a $50 free sports bet by depositing $50 and using the code EST Sports. Don't forget to use your game sense. Jay has put together one of the most incredible wagers of all time that I think it probably just closed. Probably just closed. It's for this game to go to overtime and for Jack Roslovic to score the overtime winning goal. What was it? Basically 63-1? Yep. That's how I do the odds? Yep. So you could bet $1 and win 63. That's several coffees. Several?
Hey, you've been drinking a lot of coffee lately. How come?
I want to bet that Jay Milne recommended.
Jay's chasing history. Play of the day.
Pretty good stuff. All right, we will keep you updated on the Oilers and the Blue Jackets. They have not yet started, as it's game 2 of the Oilers' 7-game road trip. And, we got the game on the tube here, and we're with you until the top of the hour. We do have our Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week coming up in 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to do our words of the day right now. Word of the day presented by Edmonton Public Library. You may want to check out their Cooking for a Cause program. It's a great team-building activity for groups who would like to learn how to create elevated dishes or set up a fun cooking challenge with your group. Cooking for a Cause, fully customized. You pick the food to cook, what to drink, what the atmosphere is going to be, all that fun stuff. Gager would be great in that environment.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe we should book this with Gager.
Oh, yeah.
Go to epl.ca/cooking-for-cause or just Google Edmonton Public Library Cooking for a Cause to get more information or to book your party.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
All right. Now, yesterday I did quite well.
3.5 out of 4.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I spelled a word that was not the word. What do you call a word that sounds the same but spelled differently?
Well, I said Doughty.
And I did Doughty.
And it was spelt like Drew Doughty.
But there was another word, Doughty, D-O-W. Yeah. What is that? Because there's what? Antonym is opposite. Homonym.
Synonym is similar.
Right.
But different.
Is there those homonyms that sound the same but are spelt differently? Homonym. Each of 2 or more words having the same spelling or pronunciation, but different meanings and origins. So they have the same pronunciation.
That's a homonym?
Yes. Same spelling or pronunciation. So Doughty and Doughty would fall into that.
Well, I don't think this first word is a homonym. Homonym.
Say that twice.
Homonym. Homonym.
Am I back plugged in here?
I don't think so.
Let's do this here. You know what? You know what you're going to sound like if you try to say hominin over and over again.
I don't know if that one will get old. I certainly hope it does.
Well, it won't get old for us. It may get old for the audience, but that's okay.
Okay, first word of the day, peremptory.
Say again?
Peremptory. Peremptory. This is an adjective. Peremptory. Peremptory.
P-E-R-E-M-P-T-O-R-Y.
Wow. That's a big pull, Reid.
Now, this makes me think of preempt, but I don't think that's what it is. Well, I'll take a stab at it then. Maybe it is that way. Is it something done in advance of something else to prevent that something else from happening?
Kind of, but not really.
Okay.
Do you want to use it in a sentence?
Sure.
Okay, the soldiers were given a peremptory order to abandon the mission. The soldiers were given a peremptory order to abandon the mission.
This is something that cancels earlier instructions.
No.
Okay.
It kind of does. It's a formal word used especially in legal context to describe an order, command, etc., that requires immediate compliance with no opportunity to show why one should not comply. So kind of.
Okay. Well, I didn't really get it.
We're going to give you a point.
Well, I didn't really get it.
0.28 for Roslovic.
Well, I like that. Spency 5 Cents in the nasty chat says, warming up my leftover lasagna for supper in 28-second intervals, trying to conjure a Roslovic overtime goal.
There you go. Feeling it.
You can text us, by the way, as well, 780-218-9999. Afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu. Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close.
Second word of the day, brindled. Brindled.
Brindled. Brindled.
Brindled.
Well, to me, there's a very obvious way to spell it, so I'm just going to go with that because you tell me to trust myself.
Yes, I do.
B-R-I-N-D-L-E-D.
Dun, da, da, da.
Brindled. Probably have seen this word before. Brindled. Oh, man. I'll take a sentence, Jay.
It was on a mammoth brindled rock stained with rust, black, and orange.
Multicolored?
You know what? In this context, Reid, I'm going to give it to you because it's so exact. It's gray or tawny with darker streaks or spots.
Oh, wow.
So multicolored. I'm giving it to you.
Gray or tawny with what?
Tawny with darker streaks or spots.
So could you have a brindled cat?
Well, I was going to say like a tabby cat might be considered brindled.
Well, you know who was brindled was Lester.
Meow, 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 meow. I think I hear him coming now.
I just got to do something. I'm going to do a whole show just off my soundboard.
Click, click, click.
By the way, still give us a thumbs up. If you thumbed us up earlier, this is considered a new stream. So let's see how many thumbs we can get to combined with the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Shawn Belle. Game's about to get underway. Oilers taking on the Blue Jackets for the second time this week. Season series is done. Oilers are then going to be in Carolina on Saturday. All right, we got our special guest coming up, Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Let's get to that. Coob, you got an update prepared, my young friend? All right, here we go.
The Oilers and Blue Jackets are just about to get underway. Edmonton, on the back end of a back-to-back, Calvin Pickard getting the start with it being a rematch of Monday's game. Oilers winning 5-4 in overtime against Columbus in Edmonton. 5 other games are live in the NHL right now. Maple Leafs up 2-0 over the Kings, about 2:50 left in the first period. John Tavares scoring the most recent goal for the Leafs, and the Stars also have a 1-0 lead over the Canadians with about 5 minutes left in the opening frame. On the field, the Jets and Patriots kick off at 6:15. New York 2-7 on the year, with New England 8-2, winners of 7 straight. Watch the game with Lieutenant Eric down at Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. In baseball news, Shohei Ohtani of the Dodgers has taken home the National League MVP award, winning the trophy for the 4th time in his career. He's just the 2nd player in MLB history to win the award 4 or more times, winning it unanimously. NBA action, the 6-5 Raptors are underway against the 8-4 Cavaliers. At the end of the first, Cleveland is up 30 30-29. After that, the Pacers and Suns clash while the Hawks tip off with the Jazz. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since 93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. The Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week brings us back on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Beaumont does not have hotels. We've learned that.
Oh, that's right.
Beaumont does not have a hotel. The Morning Boys about a year ago discovered Beaumont does not have a single hotel.
Beaumont, come on in, but just for a while. Leave.
We want you to show up, but I want you out too.
You need to leave by 9.
Stay in Leduc.
That's right.
Full curfews.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hockey is heating up, and so is the excitement on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code EST50. That's code EST50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, good to have you tuning in this afternoon. No score early between the Oilers and the Blue Jackets. We are going to have a power play here. Well, Roslovic's on the score sheet. He's called for an offensive zone tripping penalty. Whenever we welcome a guest to the program, it is on the Oil Country Towing video hotline. Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. Fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088. Jason Milne, Reid Wilkins on Edmonton Sports Talk, presented by Play Alberta. We're with you until the top of the hour. After the game between the Oilers and the Blue Jackets, the stream will pick up again with Tom Gazzola leading the way on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. And then our regular full day of programming tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Of course, talk about whatever happens with the Oilers tonight, and plenty on the Grey Cup as well, which is Sunday in Winnipeg. So who do we have? Dusty's there. He's doing the radio call of the game. Wannock's going to watch. Eric's in Edmonton, Lieutenant Eric, but his favorite team, the Riders, is in the game. What do we got? U of A grad Justin Lawrence, former Golden Bear, center for the Alouettes. That's another connection in that game. So tomorrow we will do our guaranteed to be correct predictions, 100%, including the score. And we'll flash back 10 years to the last time Edmonton won the Grey Cup with receiver Darius Bowman. Glenn Suter's on the show. We'll talk some hockey as well, so we'll have a great Friday show for you. It is time for our Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Pasta Pantry, for over 30 years in Sherwood Park. Pasta Pantry serving hot, delicious comfort food made right in their kitchen. They do it fast so you can slow down. They're a family at Pasta Pantry. When you go there, you're one of the family. Check out Pasta Pantry in Sherwood Park, your home of the pregame meal.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet this young man and interview him here on the Reid Wilkins Show. This is this week's Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week, fifth-year Golden Bears receiver, Chevy Thomas. Chevy, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, thanks for taking some time out of your day to join us, as we're going to find out you're a busy guy, Chevy. So first off, tell us a bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up, and when did you first fall in love with football?
Yeah, so I grew up in Calgary. So a little bit of controversy there with the Flames and the Oilers, but it's always good love. And so grew up there. Started playing football in around like age 12. Joined my local amateur team, the Calgary Mavericks. And at first, I had grown up playing other sports, and so I thought maybe this would just be another one that I'd try out, see, and then go back to like playing soccer, which is the sport I originally played. But fell in love with it, and ever since age 12, been playing every single year, and got me all the way here, and so it's been a real blessing.
So I'm going to just pause here for a sec, because you said something. You're born and raised in Calgary. You go to school at the University of Alberta. I mean, are you leaning towards the Oilers, or are you leaning towards the hometown Flames?
Sorry, I was raised in Calgary. I wasn't born in Calgary. I was born in Gambela, Ethiopia.
Okay.
Wow. My family immigrated in around like 2004. But you'll say it's a sellout answer, but I root for Alberta. So whoever, if an Alberta team could win the cup, then I'll be happy either way. And Edmonton's been great to me. Calgary was great to me. So yeah.
I just had to ask that, just to get that out of the way. Okay. So that's good. Look, you're an academic All-Canadian. Okay. So for those that don't know, you have to have an average of 80% or higher to be honored to be an academic All-Canadian. So kudos to that. You're a team captain on the Golden Bears football, and you make major impacts on the field. You have for the last 5 years, but you were recently named the Canada West Community Service Award winner, which might be one of your greatest achievements of all. This award honors those with academic excellence, athletic achievement, and outstanding community leadership. Hence why you are here as the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Look, you're the founder and director of R2I. That's Responsibility to Inspire. What is R2I, and what did you feel was your responsibility to create this?
R2I really is really just my attempt at trying to give back to like a community that gave so much to me. Growing up and playing football, it used to be a sport that was relatively cheap, that you could play for a couple $100. But over the past few years, as things have gone, naturally things have gotten more expensive. And then I recognized that growing up, I was given many opportunities from a bunch of different people, like my amateur coaches, high school coaches, to continue to develop my game by going through camps and training programs and things of that nature. And so once I was in university, I felt that, while I'm here and while I'm still building all these connections and still experiencing the university life, if I can start to give that back to some of the younger generation, then I'd be doing my job and doing my part in giving back to it. And so R2I was really just me trying to make sure that everything that I've been given and every opportunity that I've been given, I can try to create for somebody else, because there's a handful of kids that, I'm sure would fall in love with football just like I did, but maybe just can't afford to pay their team fees or play year round or join those training programs to develop their game and then give them a chance to actually be able to contribute to their teams. And so, yeah, it's my way of making sure that anybody can join and play football is without any fear of not being able to afford it.
Wow. Well, I mean, that's certainly, I guess, describes why you were named the Canada West Service Community Service Award winner. But I got to ask you, you're a fifth-year Golden Bear football player. That takes up a lot of your time being an athlete. You're an academic All-Canadian, so you're hitting the books hard. It's my understanding you're looking into pursuing law. That's not easy. and you just happen to run a nonprofit organization. Where do you find the time, Chevy Thomas?
Thank you. It's honestly, it's being able to lean on my community, like my family, especially friends and teammates that I've played with, that have always helped me with anything that I've ever wanted. And so, when it's time to run a camp, I text my friends, my former teammates, say, hey, got a camp at this day, at this time. If you're available, you can come out and help. And every single time they're always available. So it makes it easy to want to continue to do the work. School, that's sort of just something that has to happen. And that's partly why I started R2I is, empowering those kids to understand that without school, there's no university football. And so it's just the two go hand in hand. And so if you want to play one, you got to participate in the other. And so just trying to live by my own words, I guess, and take care of that so I can go back to the community and say, look, it's not as hard as it seems.
Chevy, if I may ask, what age are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24 and you're doing all this stuff. The world needs more people like you, Chevy. Good on you. We appreciate everything you're doing. If people are listening to this and they say, hey, you know what? I was that kid too. And I'm looking for an outlet to say, hey, I want to help this out. I want to help this cause and help out R2I. How do people get in touch with you?
Right now, it's just through the Instagram account. I've created an Instagram account for R2I, and so anybody that wants to follow along the journey or shoot me a message can shoot me a DM through that account. Also, probably my personal. And so, as we continue, now that I've graduated from the Golden Bears, I know I'm going to be able to dedicate more time to it. And so I'm excited to see the things that R2I has in store for the youth and the future.
That's fantastic, Chevy. Very well deserving of the honor of the Canada West Community Service Award. And as well, you're the winner of the Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. With that, you get a $25 GC to Pasta Pantry, the best pasta in Edmonton and area, as well as a custom Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week hat. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. Chevy Thomas, thank you for taking time out of your day. Thank you for being a wonderful human and taking time out of your life to give it back to those who need it. We appreciate you, and the world needs more people like you. Thank you for coming on the show, Chevy.
Thank you guys so much. That means a lot.
All right, that was Chevy Thomas. You were Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. 24 years old, Reid. Think of what you and I were doing at 24.
I was fumbling my way through life, much as I am now.
Just fantastic. And I mean, this guy is a stone cold killer receiver.
Yeah.
Like he's not just sitting, like this guy is a starting 5th-year receiver, has started for several years. He's a deep threat. Fantastic football player. Love watching him and hearing the story now behind him. Just, I don't know. It just makes your heart happy.
He was great.
Yeah.
Chevy Thomas, Pasta Pantry Athlete of the Week. Nominate somebody by emailing Mr. Milne, j@edmontonsportstalk.com, or go on our website and look for the submission form. We've been getting some really good submissions. Yeah. Jay took on the responsibility of looking through them and selecting people for each week. So that's a lot of fun. 9:30 left in the first period. No score. Oilers and Blue Jackets. Edmonton did kill off that penalty to Roslovic. The Blue Jackets did have a good scoring chance off the rush. Looked like the puck just went off the post. Doesn't count.
Yeah. Doesn't even count as a shot.
Doesn't even count as a shot on net. That's a missed shot, everybody. And now the puck bouncing in the crease.
And off the post.
Took a swipe at it, and Pickard got across to keep it out. So a couple good opportunities there for the Blue Jackets. All right, we got to go. Tom's on right after the game for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream post-game show. On behalf of the Coob and the Glue Guy, I'm Reid. Take care.
The EST Hangout.
Beaumont does not have hotels. We've learned that.
Oh, that's right.
Beaumont does not have a hotel. The Morning Boys about a year ago discovered Beaumont does not have a single hotel.
Beaumont, come on in, but just for a while.
Leave. We want you to show up, but I want you out too.
You need to leave by 9.
Stay in Leduc.
That's right.
Full curfews.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
What a ride it was. The Blue Jays have made our whole country proud. Sentinel Storage is honored to stand with Canada's team every step of the way. Thank you, Blue Jays. Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Hockey is heating up, and so is the excitement on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code EST50. That's code EST50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense.
EST Afternoons.
One of the better fullbacks to ever play in this league. Calvin McCarty. Are you going one way or the other? Do you give an edge to the Riders or Alouettes?
I know the Riders are playing in hostile territory. And I know Corey Mace does have Calgary blood in him still. So I got to go with Coach Moss, man. I'm pulling for Montreal, man. I got to go with my old quarterback. That's my quarterback.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Where holiday cheer meets great beer. This season, celebrate at the Canadian Brewhouse. From plated dinners and festive buffets to casual pub-style parties, we've got the perfect space for your crew. Book your holiday party today at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
The oil stream.
But on Monday, he did lead by example.
How refreshing was that, man? He was shot out of a cannon. I thought McDavid, you saw it firsthand. He had a lot of good first rushes, and he was skating with the puck, and you're like, oh, I remember this guy. I know that he can do this. And then in the third period, you just kind of sit back and you're like, there's the cap.
The oil stream presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Two guys and a goalie.
Like if it's a poor goal where it's like, yeah, no, that was a routine, should have been easy, then yeah, let's criticize them all you want. You leaving rebounds out there, yes, let's criticize them.
Not when he's quadruple screened on a point shot.
Right. Yeah. The comment is, well, how do you expect him to make that save with four people in front? And they're like, oh, I don't know, you just find a way. And you're like, just shut up.
Two guys and a goalie presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today.
Summer was packed with memories.
Wait, let me get a picture.
Your garage doesn't have to be.
Wow, look at all this space.
Store your gear with Sentinel Storage and enjoy extra space all year. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Hockey is heating up, and so is the excitement on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code EST50. That's code EST50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. Two bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including international U2 tribute band, Desire, November 14th. Performing decades of U2's greatest hits, it's Desire, November 14th at the River Cree. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
What a ride it was. The Blue Jays have made our whole country proud. Sentinel Storage is honored to stand with Canada's team every step of the way. Thank you, Blue Jays. Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching the button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future